Hi, welcome to the upgrade. I'm day 5 on replicating this quantum leap upgrade experiment. It's day 2 of the podcast coming out, which was a realization in regards to like the feminine masculine of money. I recognize now, like watching it, that it's like that Mercedes held such a masculine energy for me that has been like severely lacking my whole adult life, that it allowed me to soften to the point that I could even recognize that it's like money for me comes from that feminine way and then is like gathered by my masculine energy. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna need, because I love my Landy, I love my Land Rover, and it's been such a wonderful car, but like my Landys are a feminine energy and Mercedes are definitely a masculine energy. I'm like, I think I'm gonna need both. I'm gonna need to have both, not just one, but to create both of them. So that's on the goal list eventually, with it in a privileged, honoring a success way. Day 5 of the replication has come to a pretty cool realization, 2 kind of really cool realizations. So yesterday I was so luteal and so fucking angry at so many things about like the whole USA team hockey thing just came out, which is funny because I think about like if Canada would have won, we've never would have seen that. And wouldn't that just be hilarious if like a massively contributing factor to the fall of the patriarchy was Canada losing and America winning, so like this could all unfold, which always like is the thing. It's like even when, especially when it doesn't look like it's working out for you, it is absolutely working in your favor, which at the time, not the conversation to be having. Later on, after you've kind of moved through some of the emotions with it, absolutely that's the statement. I had a no electronics night with my kid. I have the 2 teenage kids. We do no electronic nights twice a week, and it's amazing for all of us to be able to get some stuff done, create more time, really limit distractions, regulate. And I noticed that because I'm more on the regulated side, my PMS isn't so bad. It's very easy to deal with. So me being like raging at the world after like putting my phone down and stopping feeding into it and just having some time with my kids and my journal and us playing games and kind of chit-chatting. Like if you want to spend time with your teenagers, have everybody put their phones away for a bit and they will absolutely start talking to you. And it was exactly, I think, what we all needed. It was amazing. My dreams have been insane in a really strange way. Like I'm not quite getting the level of rest that I was getting before all this started. My tummy feels really upset, which is very common when you go through an energetic upgrade to then have to go through like the physical upgrade and you get a good clean out. Either like getting really sick, so it's called ascension sickness, that like when you've raised to a new frequency, everything that's not at that frequency leaves, right? So it's like the same in your external environment is your internal environment, and when you change your internal environment, you change your external environment. So I'm looking at it as a great sign, even though it makes me tummy hurt. And then I don't feel like I can have ice cream. But I also know that it's temporary and it's serving me and it's going to be super great. I didn't have any work scheduled today. I had the absolute privilege of having a day at home by myself. Kids have gone into school. I didn't have any plans. There wasn't any meetings. I had a list of things I wanted to do, but it wasn't anything that like immediately that had to get done. And I think because I gave myself so much rest yesterday and gave myself that time and permission to do so, and that good boundary, I have a really good output energy today. And I've gotten some big things crossed off my list. So what I have realized today is that I procrastinate on doing things that have the potential of a large output of money. So the last like quantum thing, it's like I had that recognition with the pizza that it's like if I have to pay the ticket, it's like pay the piper, pay the $40 for pizza to be able to like let go of the outcome, trusting that it's going to come back in. There are things that I procrastinate on. Everything that I was procrastinating on doing on that I have completed today, all involve an output of money potentially somehow. So I had those old taxes from an old business company come up. They're from like 2019. I have to try and track down the accountant that we used at that time who I haven't been in touch with, who I'm like, oh my God, what if I still owe her money. Like that business, like, oh my God, do I still owe her money for not paying for taxes? Is that why they're missing? Like she still has, I don't have any of the paperwork. She must still have all the paperwork. I can't believe I have gone unpaid with that kind of invoice for such a long time. And it was just realizing that last night, and like it was hanging over my head so much today. And my mind just wants to go like worst case scenario about how big the bill is going to be, how her response is going to be, like what happens if she doesn't ever respond, how am I going to deal with that? And just like catastrophizing 101, when really I can take a deep breath and being like, I've always been fully supported in everything else. If it's just a matter of finding money for the bill, I can absolutely have the capacity to do so. Everything here is going so well. I'm always very supported. I have no reason not to trust what my intuition is telling me, which is to send her an email being like, I can't believe how disrespectful I've been to you and your business and to like taxes in general by having this go on for so long. Let me make this right. Give me is there an opportunity to correct this? As I'm sending that email, the course that I want to sign up for and reinvest my tax return, like my personal tax return with, if I were to get money, I usually do because I love paying my taxes and this is how it works, like energetically for me. The course that I want to invest in when I get my tax return, I got an email about there being a discount code. Oh my gosh, 6666 just went by on a Jeep on a license plate. Love it. This is very scattered. I'm not going to apologize. This is who I am. I've had a lot of coffee today after not really drinking coffee for a long time. An email pops up as I'm rereading the email I'm about to send her. I'm like, well, that's not a coincidence, is it? I don't believe in coincidences. What perfect timing of that is that even if I, like, for the universe to send me a validation that, like, when I output, I always come back input. And there's this great, I can't remember, I have to look it up. There's this great, I think it's called, like, What Every Man Should Know. What Men Should Know About Women. It's by the Gottmans. It's a red book that has to do with relationships. And it's the best book I've ever read about relationships in my life. And the thing that I got out of that, I got two things. The one that's important for us to know is that everything that happens is a bid for attention. And the reaction to that either makes or breaks trust. I'm like, hot damn, I'm doing the same thing with the universe. There's a bid for attention from me, from the universe to do something with my intuition. My response makes or breaks trust with my faith that everything's working out for me in my favor, that I'm always supported, and that money out also means money in. So I'm like, well, that's really good to know. Because again, everything that's been on my list today, I have very little hesitation about doing things that create like a input of money, right? So it's like posting on social media, showing up there on a regular basis, emailing my list consistency, showing up for work, being able to post in different groups and stuff. Like, I have very little hesitation on doing anything that would bring in money. Where my hesitation now comes in, or the tightness or noticing where I get restricted and procrastinate, is when there's a large output. So that's a realization that I'm kind of sitting with today. It's just a matter of like feeling it in my body. And like me, I use Reiki to like dissolve that. You can use magnets and the emotion code by Dr. Bradley Nelson to be able to like pull that out of you too. Just right, like your first step to changing a behavior is awareness. So now that I recognize that, I'm like, oh man, look at all this stuff that I'm procrastinating on that involves money. Even if it's like, yeah, it's like making the trip to the dollar store to buy batteries for something to like fix it. Like, it all involves some sort of like potential output of money because I don't trust it coming back in. I'll rephrase that. An older part of me, the old version part of me pre-Mercedes, doesn't trust it coming back in. But me now, post-Mercedes, now in Landy, totally does. So it's just like, oh, hot damn, look at that behavior. And then it's easier and easier to correct because I have the realization of what it is. So it's easier for me to close the loop. It also makes more sense why I was able to do so much when I was in the Mercedes, right? I think I talk about that like later on in the week, just like how much I got done in that first week, how much it allowed me to move forward. Being in that masculine energy like allowed me time to like soften into my feminine, which like fueled the masculine energy to like keep going and to do more and to follow that. Like when you have a space to listen to your intuition and it's safe for you to do so, following through with your masculine energy and the doing part is a lot easier. So what we're trying to do is like, usually we're just like what I talked about with the budget, right? You're not like, this is how much money you have, this is the budget, and then I'm going to feel okay. It's like, I'm going to feel okay first. Here's the budget, and I trust for all this money to come in. It's the same things. It's a different order. It's a different result. And setting that intention for that is astronomical. Astronomical. The other realization I had, I now totally forget because I want to talk for, I switched from coffee and tea to hot chocolate in the morning, and how that really does kind of warm and open up my heart. It's like how the spiritual girlies talk about the cacao ceremonies. So if you're trying to get either off coffee or have a replacement, because I'm like, I don't want to drink coffee unless I need like a supportive energy to be able to do so and be able to like enjoy it. I'm very intentional about my coffee use. Like it's a tool for me, and tea isn't something I want to have on a consistent basis. I don't really feel like I like need it, but I'd still love to have something warm in the morning. So I'm switching and alternating between like a morning with hot lemon water and then a morning with coffee with hot chocolate, and it's been absolutely delightful. Absolutely delightful. So I definitely recommend it with that. What did I want to talk about? I want to create a journal for us to be able to like do these quantum leaps on a pretty regular basis. That it's like if you were to do something similar, either create a container for yourself, it doesn't have to be with the vehicle. It's just the intention behind doing it. If you had a prompt and like a page to write down to like be able to do the same thing, to replicate these same results and have these tools, I'm going to make one for you. So that's what I've been doing. And I'm going to kind of update it. I started a document. I'm going to start a document about each day what I've kind of realized, formulating a question around it so that you can have that realization yourself and realize how you feel about it. And then be like, well, how does my future self want to work on this? How is me at the end of the quantum leap going to handle this? Because that's essentially where you want to work from, is from the end result, right? Same thing like with that budget. What's the feeling that I want to have first? We're going to work from this place. Like, I'm pretty sure it can be replicated. Like, there's no reason for it not to. I got another deposit today. That one's expected, so I don't think that's like technically very fair. But it's like, I got another deposit today. I booked another couple sessions last night. I was able to create a whole bunch of social media very easily. Like for that, I was able to make the posts. I was able to make the shares. I was able to, I should actually include this in the journal too. If you have a business, I have like, I looked back at how I journaled about my appointment stuff beforehand and created some questions, which is where I base all my content off of, which made it really easy to make all the content for the workshop. And I'm also going to do that like Unking Sales with Andrea Crowder again for the workshop before I even have like a post about the sales, or like right afterwards. That's my plan tonight. I made a post this morning about the Quantum Upgrade podcast, and then tonight I'm going to make a post about the Successful Empath workshop, which I would love to do on a regular basis. I would love to turn it into an online course, and the plan is to eventually turn it into a book. Ideally, Top Shelf Me, and if Quantum Leap Me, that gets picked up by like Hay House, HarperCollins, or Andrew McNeil Publishing. Those are like Those are my boys. Essentially, what comes up. Oh man. I have a huge stack of books from the library that are all they're all nonfiction. I'll phrase that, 97% nonfiction. And I'm definitely in a season of learning and consuming, not to fix, but with the intention to like find tools to be able to apply. And that's the other thing I want to talk about, and to share. Most of the time they just piss me off because they're not good enough. It's not what I would want to recommend to people at all, which is great, because whatever pisses you off is just showing you which is important. So it's like with the whole American hockey team stuff, it's like respect and a society without misogyny is going to be a beautiful place for us all to work for, in a matriarchal system of community and centering everyone, not just one person benefiting and everybody else too scared to piss off the person that is benefiting. But the second realization I had, so yesterday, after I had noticed that I was like mentally spiraling on the Sunday night about having so much output, on Monday, I noticed the thought of being like, well, I can't spend any money this week. And I'm like, well, why? That's dumb. Like, we got bills to pay and stuff. Like, why would I do that? But then I'm like, wait, what if I took that thought valid? Because there's a part of me, I need to lean into expansion with being able to receive. I get to test bringing stuff in without having like that money go out. Right? So it's like I've booked the appointments. I'm going to book the kids' massage appointments. I've sent the email about the taxes. I have my other tax documents ready to go. Like in there, I've cleaned up a pile of paperwork. I've gotten my email inbox sent. I've got like the emails forwarded. Like all the output has been completed. So what I'm challenging myself to do now is I have loaded everything I want and treats for the kids and my friends in my Amazon cart, and I am almost up to $1,000 worth of stuff. It's stuff they're like little tiny upgrades. There's things that we're like needing for the home, needing for ourselves, needing for an upcoming trip. I want to do a quantum leap experiment when I'm on the trip, so I can share that with you guys there too. And I'm like, I want to expand, bringing in that extra $1,000 to be able to pay for everything in my Amazon cart, and trusting that it's going to come in the most beautiful way. Because I did notice at the tail end of that quantum experiment with the Mercedes that my body is addicted to the dopamine rush that comes with the panic of needing and requiring money. It wasn't mental, it's not energetic, it's not emotional. Like I feel like I had dealt with all that, but there's like my body is needing the dopamine from somewhere. So I'm like, well, I can self-source my dopamine, and I'm focusing on doing that like physically is a huge part of mine. This is like part of my human design chart as well, that it's like being able to self-source dopamine through physical activity, being able to do like 10 squats, push-ups, dancing in the kitchen. If you don't have the Finch app is like my favorite, the kids' favorite, a couple of my close friends' favorite. It's this little self-care bird. It's this little penguin that you get points and little gems and jewels for every time you take care of yourself. But it's a level of external accountability. If you're trying to get into a new habit and you want a fun way to reinforce it, Finch app, totally the way to go. Totally the way to go. And where was I going with that? And so like this sixth thing, I have like 30 tasks I think I love to do each day. Because like this is like what helps me stay I don't have any other external accountability. So I need to create systems that give me external accountability. And Finch app is one of them. And on there is like, do 10 squats, do 5 wall push-ups, do 10 shoulder rolls, dance in the kitchen to your favorite song. Those are ways for me to source dopamine. Complete a task off your list. Wash your face. Did you make your bed? Did you appreciate a moment of fresh air? Did you put away your laundry? It's just like, feels like it's so small, but when I'm self-sourcing dopamine because I am completing a task and that is honoring a bid for attention for myself from the universe, I create more confidence, I create more trust, and I create more faith. And I get like these cute little outfits and for my bitch from that. But it helps provide that energy that doesn't have me searching for it with problems. It has me reinforce the positive, for me, the positive behavior of doing things and following through with promises that I made for myself. And like that feels so much better. And I don't want this to be like a lifetime of like constantly fixing myself, wanting to feel like I need to get a different result. But I know where I'm going. I know where I end up. I need to find supportive systems to be able to help me get there in a way that doesn't involve more struggle. And in fact, it involves less struggle, stress that I choose, like not spending any money for a week and then expanding. So this is my plan, is to I'm not allowed to spend any money online or with my debit card or phone. If I have cash, which I did getting to go get a coffee today, I can use that. I think I have like $12, so it's like very limited, but everything has to wait. So I have a little list of everything that I want to like invest in after like that end of the week, but I can see now and give myself time and space, like, do I actually want that? Or do I think I want that? Am I looking for a feeling? But expanding into this, like a good stress that I'm choosing of not spending any money for a week, self-sourcing my dopamine in the meantime, and getting into this expansion of bringing in $1,000 from wherever creator, universe, God wants to have fun bringing it from, to be able to learn how and replicate a formula, like how I can manifest cash to be able to bring joy to myself and to others and be of a better service of living a better life. What a statement. How does that feel in my body? Makes me emotional. I feel like I'm like glad that I'm like getting to this point that I can get into a level of expansion without beating myself up about it, but out of like true care and compassion and like love for this, like how this feels so much better. This feels so much better. Can I flood myself with like that feeling of love, which is one of my affirmation statements that goes off on the phone. Yeah. Okay, let's go. I cannot wait to tell you how that money comes in. I can't wait to update you about the best case scenario of what happens with the accountant. I'm so excited to get some things off my list. Now I get to go home. One of the projects I have to do that I have to complete tonight is one that's creative, and I have a great book to listen to while I work on that. And I'm just really proud of myself and admire my own tenacity in being able to have realizations, recognizations, getting out of the habit of beating myself up about them, and then use them not only in service to myself and my own soul, but to my family and my children. Being able to like, the gift I give them is a gift that their children, my grandchildren, and their children, so my kids' grandchildren and my great-grandchildren are all gonna benefit from. And I think that's pretty important. Can't wait to show you what I make.